by 12 o'clock, and we used to write to all principal secretaries and all chief secretaries of all states and all union territories. By 12 o'clock it is to reach them. Early morning action is taken across India, and that is the strength of our bureaucracy, which we have to appreciate. It works like here. Airlift from Wuhan, airlifted medical students, other students from Singapore, Middle East, also our neighbors or students from Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. They were all brought back by special flights which the Indian Air Force had started. Now, before the vaccine, what were the medicines useful for COVID-19? क्या दवाइयाँ थी? कोई दवाइयाँ नहीं थी. बहुत सी दवाइयाँ बताई गई, ये काम करेगा, वो काम करेगा. 600 odd treatments were given by ICMR, and we did not find any one of them working. However, 3 major contributions in the world which contributed to COVID-19. One was recovery trial, which clearly showed that steroids are working and reduce mortality in COVID-19 from the United Kingdom. The second trial was by the WHO. Remdesivir reduces the hospitalization. Hospitalization के 11 दिन के जगह 7 दिन लोग hospitalized. Again, funded by the United States, we were part of it, and that was done. The third major contribution in the world was by India, where we clearly demonstrated by a randomized trial, which was called the Placid trial, published in the British Medical Journal, conducted by district hospitals, not the big institutes, by video control from ICMR. We randomized patients to receive plasma and not receive plasma, and we clearly demonstrated that plasma did not lead to reduction in progress to severe disease or even death. So ये major trial थी, British Medical Journal में छपा, 2 editorials लिखे गए, how India democratized research, how even district hospitals and primary health centers were recruiting patients, and how we were able to control it and ensure the quality and do a randomized trial during the lockdown. So this was done during the lockdown. तो जब वायरस हम लोग के पास 9 मार्च को हम लोगों ने वायरस आइसोलेट कर दिया था, और उसके बाद हमको इलाइजा किट बनाना था. So this 20th March तक लॉकडाउन शुरू हो गया. How to make the ELISA kit. There were pharma companies in whole of Gujarat and Maharashtra. There was the National Institute of Virology in Pune who had the virus. They were traveling by car every day, and all the experiments were being done. And 7 pharma companies were able to make the ELISA kit for the first time. And this ELISA kit was used for the serosurvey, for finding out from the blood samples that what is the prevalence of COVID-19 in the country. तो कोविड कवच इलाइजा हम लोग ने बनाया, और कार से लोग आते थे, चाहे कैडिला हो, चाहे सिप्ला हो, चाहे many other companies, they work with ICMR and they were able to develop these kits. अब मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा कि जो सीरो सर्वे करे गए 28,000 लोगों पे 700 विलेजेस 70 डिस्ट्रिक्ट के स्टेट से ICMR के साइंटिस्ट PPE पहन के, मास्क लगा के, वाइजर लगा के गांव से गांव गए, ब्लड सैंपल लिया. जहां जाते थे लोग उनके ऊपर फूल छिड़क रहे हैं, माला पहना रहे हैं. They collected these samples, and within a week's time 28,000 samples were collected, and we demonstrated that this prevalence of COVID-19 is only 0.7%. That means that 99.3% of the 1.4 billion population is still vulnerable. When we gave these results to the government was a bit scared. How will the people take it? We explained that we have to use it in a positive sense, that since 99.73% are still vulnerable, they should use precautions, they should use masks, they should have restrictive movement, and then these results within 3 or 4 days were released to the country, and then the 4 different surveys was done, and we were able to show that by 1 year's time it was 66.7% had antibodies. Now the development of the vaccine, and you have seen the movie, you have seen the trailer of the picture. Uska, it is available on Hotstar and Netflix, and आप इसको देखिए. It is how women scientists of India have demonstrated resilience, courage, and how they were able to. So 9 मार्च को हम लोगों ने वायरस आइसोलेट किया. 31 मार्च को हम लोग ने भारत बायोटेक के साथ MOU साइन करके उनको वायरस दिया। 30 अप्रैल को उन्होंने हम लोग को कई वैक्सीन कैंडिडेट दिए जो हम लोग ने रैट्स, मंकीज, माइस से एक्सपेरिमेंट किए। ये हम लोग एक्सपेरिमेंट करते गए। हम लोग के दो अप्रोचेस थे। एक तो कि कोविशील्ड जो सीरम का है उसको स्केल अप किया जाए, उसको इंडिया में लगाया जाए और 80% वैक्सीनेशन उसी से था क्योंकि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बहुत था सीरम इंस्टीट्यूट। दूसरा था कि हम लोग अपनी ओन इंडिजिनस वैक्सीन बनाएं जिसको भारत बायोटेक के साथ हम लोग वायरस किया। उसके लिए we did the vaccine trials on rats and monkeys and we clearly demonstrated safety and immunogenicity and also the dosage, and this was published in iScience and a cover story on this because we had used a new adjuvant which is also the cover story of iScience. As you can see the first one on the left, and then we published the second paper. Now the question was that we know that these vaccines are working, but we need to do some monkey trials. Now monkeys कहाँ से लाए जाए? Monkeys, only one country, India में, because of animal activists, monkeys work has gone down tremendously. Monkeys were not available in many places. How to get those monkeys? All the trials for Covishield and the other vaccines in different parts of the world were done on monkeys supplied from China. So where do we get the monkeys? We can capture them, but there was lockdown, there was no food, they had all gone into the forest. So we got immediate permission from the CPCSCA, from the animal husbandry. 24 घंटे में हम लोग को permission मिली. Then we sent a team of ICMR and IV to capture monkeys. तेलंगाना बॉर्डर, कर्नाटक बॉर्डर पे जाके हफ्ते भर के बाद, 10 दिन के बाद, they were able to capture 20 monkeys. These monkeys were taken to the ICMR and IV, air-conditioned cages, negative pressure, BSL-4 laboratory, and they were captured there and kept there. Now we had to test the vaccine on them. Once I had captured the monkeys, I got several letters, several phone calls from animal activists. Dr. Bhargav, I am told that you are going to capture monkeys. मैंने कहा अश्वत्थामा हटो, sir, I am not going to capture monkeys. I have already captured. I said, I am not going to capture. Anyway, that problem sorted out. Then अब monkeys को कैसे टेस्ट किया? उनको वैक्सीन तो दे दी गई, अब उनको वायरस चैलेंज देना है। वायरस चैलेंज देने के लिए उनको ब्रोंकोस्कोपी करनी है। उनकी ब्रोंकोस्कोपी करने के लिए उनको वायरस अंदर देना है, 3rd जनरेशन ऑफ ब्रोंको, और फिर ब्रोंकियल आवाज हर रोज कलेक्ट करना है। एक रेस्पिरेटरी साइंटिस्ट हमारा ICMR हेडक्वार्टर्स में था, उसको स्पेशल फ्लाइट से हमने पूना भेजा। पूना के CTC आर्मी हॉस्पिटल के एक और पल्मोनोलॉजिस्ट से रिक्वेस्ट किया, आर्मी के कमांड से उन्होंने उसको डिप्लॉय किया। दोनों जनों को कैप्टिव ICMR and IV के गेस्ट हाउस में 1 महीने के लिए बंद कर दिया। They were doing all the animal experiments at ICMR and IV Pune. For 20 monkeys vaccinated, virus given, anesthetized, bronchoscopy से bronchial lavage every day collect किया गया। 14 दिन के बाद देखा no virus is growing. That means the vaccine works. That was the turning point that this vaccine BB152A is effective, and the dosage is already calculated from monkeys, from small animals. Safety, immunity was calculated. Can we start the phase 1 of human trials? We got permission for doing the phase 1 human trials, and then this paper of preclinical monkeys was sent for publication to Nature's Medicine. किसी को पता चल गया कि पेपर भेजा गया है, ICMR में एक्सपेरिमेंट्स हो गए हैं. India working against India, they wrote to the journal that these monkeys are captured monkeys, they are not from breeding facility, they should not be published. So the journal wrote to us, we sent the health certificate of each and every monkey, all the biochemical reports, all the X-ray, IGRA tests, TB tests, every one was sent of all the 20 monkeys to the journal, and then they published it. And after that, we were able to get this publication. And then we had the clinical trial, phase 1 published in Lancet, phase 2 published in Lancet, and then the WHO pre-qualification and marketing, and that was the story. Little bit more story about the monkeys. ये monkeys जो हैं, प्री पैंडमिक $2000 का एक मंकी बिकता था, और दुनिया की सारी वैक्सीन जो टेस्ट हुई हैं वो मंकीज चाइना से जाते थे। चाइना और यूएस के रिलेशंस खराब हुए कोविड पैंडमिक में, तो ड्यूरिंग द पैंडमिक कहीं मंकी मिलता नहीं था, नॉट अवेलेबल। पोस्ट पैंडमिक $20,000 का एक मंकी बिकता है। टुडे इट इज़ $20,000 per monkey, and many countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, and even in India, we have set up excellent state-of-the-art monkey breeding facilities at Hyderabad and at Sasad Nagar in Maharashtra, which are state-of-the-art. And we are breeding those monkeys, and they are being used for ethically for experiments in animals. This is the journey of the Covaxin vaccine, and then the vaccine stamp was released, and we were able to. So India is known as the pharmacy of the world because 60% of the generic medicines in the world are supplied from India. But with Covaxin, we proved that we could manufacture vaccines from start to finish, and India is now a vaccine superpower. ये स्लाइड मैं आपको दिखाना चाह रहा हूँ। इसमें सन 47 में हमारे फर्स्ट हेल्थ मिनिस्टर राजकुमारी अमृत कौर, जिनका विजन था जिससे ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट्स पूरे हिंदुस्तान में बने, पहले एम्स दिल्ली बना और फिर उसके बाद सारे हिंदुस्तान में बने। शी इज़ रिसीविंग अ पैकेट ऑफ मेडिकेशंस फ्रॉम द हाई कमिश्नर ऑफ कैनेडा एट बॉम्बे सी पोर्ट, एंड दिस इज नथिंग अदर दैन penicillin. After receiving that penicillin, Hindustan Antibiotics and India became a major powerhouse of pharmaceuticals, and these vaccines, these antibiotics were created and they were manufactured. 2021, India sent its vaccines to 100 countries, including Canada. So, for vaccine development, the government and the scientists and the population at large who were volunteers for the phase 1, phase 2 need to be congratulated. The funding, the preclinical studies, the clinical studies, laboratory studies, epidemiology studies, rolling review of the drug controller, advanced purchase orders, at-risk manufacturing, raw material import, expedited batch testing and release, and for expedited batch testing, several, earlier it was only Kasauli, अब दिल्ली में भी है, नोएडा में भी है, हैदराबाद में भी है, पूना में भी है, बैच टेस्टिंग हो सकती है वैक्सीन की। तो ये अपॉर्चुनिटी बन गई जिसमें हम लोग का साइंटिफिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड विद द गवर्नमेंट पुशिंग फ्रॉम बिहाइंड बहुत इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट हो गया। हम लोगों ने फेज़ 2 के बेसिस पर ट्रेवल किया, उस पर भी बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म दिया वेस्टर्न प्रेस में। उसके लिए हम लोग के पास ये गैजेट नोटिफिकेशन था प्री कोविड 19 मार्च 2019, अगर लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग सीरियस डिजीज़ है, रेयर डिजीज़ है, तो उसके लिए हम लोग फेज़ 2 के बेसिस पे अप्रूवल दे सकते हैं, और यही हमने यूज़ किया। एक नेशनल टास्क फोर्स हम लोगों ने बनाई जिसमें 40 साइंटिस्ट थे, और डॉक्टर विनोद पॉल के चेयरमैनशिप में हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी एंड माई सेल्फ वर वाइस चेयरमैन, एंड देवर virologists, pulmonologists. We were meeting twice a week, thrice a week, depending on the circumstances. This national task force was notified to the Supreme Court of India, and whatever was given by the national task force was given as the national advisory, and that was obeyed by the citizens of India, the population of India, and I think that was what was responsible for preventing a major catastrophe in India. These were the management protocols. They were in several languages, 14 languages, and distributed. We had six issues of IGMR, more than 300 publications in top scientific journals. And my major dictum to all my scientists was, whatever research you do, please document it, please publish it, so that that evidence is there for posterity and forever. And that is why we were able to publish more than 300 papers during this COVID-19. Again, mass का प्रयोग हिंदुस्तान में जितना हुआ दुनिया में कहीं नहीं हुआ, and I think again the people of India listened to what the leadership was saying, what the scientists were saying, what the administration was saying, and what the doctors were saying. So that was important. So we know vaccination does not prevent. तो हम लोग के पास 3 databases थे, ICMR टेस्टिंग डेटाबेस, इंडिया पोर्टल डेटाबेस। 2 मिनट और लूँगा आप लोग के खाने के लिए, डिले नहीं करूँगा। एंड सारा डेटा हमारे पास था 2 करोड़ डोजेस का वैक्सीन का, और ये जो डेटा था इसमें हम लोगों ने एक डेटाबेस बनाया था कोविन। इसका मैं एक छोटा सा एनेक्डोट बताना चाहूँगा। वी वेंट टू द लीडरशिप and told him that we are going to make an app called Covin, C-O-V-I-N, COVID Vaccination in India Network. He says, no. Remove the V, make it W. It should be Covin. Within 10 seconds, he came out with this app. And it was changed from C-O-V-I-N to C-O-W-I-N. This was the leadership who has shown us to this. Our vaccination program has been a very strong program for the last 60 years. We have more than 27 million newborns vaccinated every year. We have 28,000 cold chain points, 2.3 million ASHA workers, and they were all leveraged for this COVID vaccination. And that is why we were able to vaccinate more than 98% of our population, 2 doses to be given across the country and very rapidly. When we come to the Omicron, India was far better in terms of number of cases compared to Russia, United Kingdom, Brazil, United States, Canada, South Africa, and also in terms of mortality, much lower than any of these countries. BSL-3 लेबोरेटरी, निपा वायरस का हम लोग का 2018 में आउटब्रेक हुआ था केरला में, तब हम लोग को सैंपल ले जाने पड़ते थे अलेपुजा की लैब में या फिर पूना ले जाने। So we said we should have a mobile BSL-3 लेबोरेटरी। तो जिन्होंने BSL-4 लेबोरेटरी पूना में बनाई, उनसे हम लोगों ने रिक्वेस्ट किया, WHO से मांगा, उन्होंने कहा कि ये लैब होती है जो फ्लाइट से जाएगी, रीअसेंबल होएगी, डिसअसेंबल होएगी, और वहाँ हम लोगों ने कहा इंडिया के लिए हमें ऐसी चाहिए विच इज़ स्ट्रॉन्ग रोबस्ट। और जिन्होंने BSL-4 लेबोरेटरी बनाई थी, उन्होंने एक मोबाइल BSL-3 लेबोरेटरी बनाई मर्सिडीज बेंज के शेसिस पे चेन्नई से, और स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट। अंदर जाइए बिल्कुल लगेगा अपोलो 11 के अंदर है, फुली कंप्यूटराइज, नेगेटिव प्रेशर, decontamination, radiation, everything is all fully. This laboratory was inaugurated by the minister in Maharashtra, and more importantly इसके हम लोगों ने और कई सारे labs बनाए, and we promised that we will deliver one to every Southeast Asia region country, and all the health ministers met in Paro in Bhutan, and the lab was driven from Gorakhpur to Delhi to Paro, and it reached there within 18 hours, and we were able to demonstrate it to all the health ministers that this is the laboratory, and as part of soft diplomacy to be given to them. Last thing, iDrone. Madam ne abhi bataya how this AIIMS Rishikesh is dealing with the drones and other IT. We developed this program, ICMR, drone response and outreach in the Northeast. This is beautiful Northeast. This is India. This is beautiful.